Stop scrolling. Stop whatever you're doing right now. Put your phone down for 1 second and just breathe. I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly. Not the answer you give other people. The answer you know is true when nobody's watching. Are you proud of the life you're living right now? Or are you just getting through the day waiting for something to change? Everyone wants the same things. A better life, more money, a body they're proud of, a mind that feels calm instead of anxious, people who respect them, a future they're excited about instead of scared of. But here's the question that matters more than any dream you have. What did you actually do today to get closer to it? Did you wake up and chase your goals? Or did you wake up, check your phone, scroll for an hour, tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, and go back to feeling stuck? Be honest. This isn't me judging you. This is me holding up a mirror because somebody has to. And while you listen to this, something else is happening too. Your English is improving. Your ears are learning new words, new rhythms, new ways to express what's inside you. So don't just hear this video. Absorb it. Let it teach you two things at once, a new language and a new way of thinking, because both of those things are going to open doors in your life you haven't even imagined yet. So let's talk honestly about the things nobody tells you. Your time is not unlimited, and I don't think you actually understand that yet. Not really. You know it in your head, but you don't feel it. You say, "I'll do it later." Like later is guaranteed. It's not. Every day you postpone your dream is a day you don't get back. You're not saving time by waiting. You're spending it on nothing. Think about your own life for a second. What were you doing exactly 1 year ago today? Now ask yourself, has anything actually changed? If the honest answer is no, that should scare you a little. Not because you're a bad person, but because the pattern will keep repeating unless you interrupt it yourself. Nobody is coming to interrupt it for you. Here's the truth about blame too. It feels good in the moment. Blaming your family, your background, your bad luck, your lack of money, it takes the pressure off you. But it also takes away your power, because if everything is someone else's fault, then you have no control over fixing it. And deep down, you know that's not true. You have more control than you're using. Look at people who came from nothing and built everything. They didn't have extra hours in the day. They didn't have magic. What they had was a decision, a moment where they said, "I am done waiting for my life to get easier. I am going to make it happen myself." That decision is available to you right now, in this exact second, whether you have money or not, whether you have support or not. Your comfort zone feels safe, but it's slowly stealing your life from you. Every day you stay where it's easy is a day your dream gets a little more distant. You want to speak English with confidence? You have to open your mouth and risk sounding wrong. You want a better career? You have to apply even when you feel unqualified. You want a stronger body, a stronger mind, a stronger life? You have to do the uncomfortable thing today, not when you feel ready, because you will never feel ready. Readiness is a myth people use to justify staying still. And later that word you keep using, it's not actually a plan. It's an excuse wearing a nice outfit. When you say, "I'll start later," what you really mean deep down is, "I don't want to face this right now." And that's okay to admit. But admitting it is the first step to changing it. Because once you see the excuse for what it is, you can't hide behind it anymore. Let's talk about thinking too much and doing too little, because this might be the thing that's hurting you most right now. Your mind can be your greatest tool or your biggest trap. Most people overthink their way out of every opportunity they get. They plan for months instead of starting for minutes. They imagine every way it could fail before they've even tried once. And by the time they're done imagining, they're too exhausted to actually begin. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a first step. If you want to speak better English, stop watching 20 more tutorials and start speaking, even badly, even with mistakes, even if your accent isn't perfect. If you want to build something of your own, stop researching for the 10th month in a row and take one small action today. Thinking has a place, but only for a short time. After that, it just becomes fear wearing a smarter disguise. I want you to imagine someone who wants to learn how to swim. He reads every book about swimming. He watches every video. He talks to swimmers about their technique, but he never actually gets in the water. Does he learn to swim? No. And that is exactly what so many of us are doing with our dreams. We prepare, and prepare, and prepare, and we never jump in. Now let's talk about the person you're becoming, because who you are today isn't fixed. You get to choose every single day who shows up. Will you be the version of you that gives up when it's hard, or the version that keeps going anyway? Will you be the one who complains about the world, or the one who quietly works while everyone else complains? People don't need to hear your plans. They need to see your results. Talk less about what you're going to do. Just do it. And let your life speak for itself. And here's something that might be hard to hear, but you need to hear it. Your biggest enemy isn't your job, your circumstances, or the people around you. It's the version of yourself that wants to quit. The version that whispers, just rest today. Just skip it this once. It's okay to be average. That voice will always be there. Your job isn't to silence it completely. Your job is to be stronger than it every single day, in every single choice. This is where willpower comes in, and I want you to understand something important. Willpower is not a personality trait you either have or don't have. It's a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. The first time you choose to work instead of scroll, it will feel almost impossible. But the 10th time, it gets a little easier. The 100th time, it becomes who you are. Feelings will always try to run your life if you let them. You won't feel like waking up early. You won't feel like starting that hard conversation. You won't feel like showing up when you're tired. But anyway, that's the whole secret. Not motivation, discipline. Now let's talk about comparison, because I know this one hits close to home. You open your phone and you see somebody your age with a better life, a better body, more success, more confidence, more everything, and something inside you shrinks a little. You start asking yourself what's wrong with you. But here's what you're not seeing. You're comparing your full, complicated, behind-the-scenes life to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their sleepless nights, their doubts, their failures they never post about. Comparison isn't information, it's poison, and it will quietly kill your motivation if you let it keep feeding on your attention. And one more thing while we're being honest with each other, be careful who you take advice from. Not everyone who talks confidently has actually lived what they're telling you to do. If someone has never taken a risk in their life, their advice about risk isn't wisdom, it's fear disguised as caution. Listen to people who have actually walked the road you're trying to walk. Everyone else is just noise, and noise can quietly steer your whole life in the wrong direction if you're not paying attention. Let's talk about risk for a second, because this is where most people stop themselves before they even start. You want a life worth remembering? Then understand this. Nothing remarkable was ever built by playing it safe. Every person you admire took a risk that scared them. They risked their comfort, their time, their pride, sometimes their whole sense of security, because they understood something you need to understand too. A safe life and a meaningful life are rarely the same thing. You're scared to speak English out loud because someone might laugh, so you stay silent, and years pass, and you still can't speak. But imagine if you had spoken anyway, imperfectly, nervously, and just kept going. Where would you be right now? One small act of courage today could save you 10 years of regret later. That trade is always worth it. And here's something I need you to sit with. The clock does not care if you're not ready. It doesn't pause because you're scared, confused, or waiting for the perfect moment. Life moves whether you move with it or not, and the scariest part isn't failing. It's waking up one day, years from now, realizing you spent your best years waiting for a moment that never had to be perfect in the first place. You were just afraid, and fear convinced you that waiting was safer than trying. I also want to tell you something that might sting a little, but it will set you free once you accept it. Nobody is coming to save you, and honestly, nobody is watching as closely as you think. People are busy living their own lives, fighting their own battles. That might sound lonely, but flip it around. It's actually your freedom. If nobody's watching that closely, you're free to fail without shame, free to try again, free to look a little foolish while you figure things out. You don't need permission to start. You only need yourself. If you don't like the life you're living right now, understand this. You're allowed to change it. You are not a tree planted in one place forever. You can move. You can rebuild. You can let go of habits that don't serve you, environments that drain you, and expectations that were never really yours in the first place. So many people are living a life designed by their parents' fears, their friends' opinions, or what society decided was responsible. But that's not your dream. That's a costume you've been wearing. You are allowed to take it off. And you're paying, whatever it is, whatever you've been carrying quietly. It doesn't have to break you. It can build you instead. The people who seem the strongest usually aren't the ones who avoided paying. They're the ones who turned their pain into fuel. Every failure, every rejection, every heartbreak, it can either bury you or it can become the exact thing that makes you unstoppable. You get to choose which one it becomes. So here's what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when things calm down, because things rarely calm down on their own. Right now, today, pick one thing, just one, that moves you a little closer to the life you actually want. Speak one sentence in English out loud. Send that message you've been avoiding. Start that project you've been thinking about for months. One small action today is worth more than 100 perfect plans you never start. I know some of you watching this are tired. Maybe things feel heavy right now. Your energy is low, your confidence is shaken, and you're wondering if things will actually get better. I want to tell you, as honestly as I can, they will. Not because I'm trying to comfort you with empty words, but because I've seen it happen, again and again, for people who felt exactly like you feel right now. There is a version of you on the other side of this, who is stronger, calmer, and prouder of how far you've come. You just have to keep walking toward them. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not out of time. You're just getting started, and that's okay. So take a breath, stand a little taller, and go do the one thing you've been putting off. Your future self is waiting for you to begin. Thank you for watching, and for practicing your English with me today. Come back tomorrow, because we're only getting started.